Welcome to your bite-sized workout, this 20-minute dose of some resistance training with weights. Just make sure that you have a heavy set of dumbbells and a nice space to work out in, and we are going to jump right in. Our warm-up starts with air squats. So in our warm-up, we're just doing 30 seconds of 4 different movement patterns to give you a preview of what is ahead. So get your feet ready, toes are slightly out, heels are slightly in, and we simply air squat. Come down, squeeze the legs together on the top. Feel that little bit of engagement in the glutes at the top, coming to a neutral position. Find the weight distributed evenly between both feet. So we're looking here just to warm the joints, to get the heart rate and the blood pumping, to get us ready for our practice. We've got 10 more seconds here, and then we're switching to reverse lunges. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch it up. We step it back. 90-degree bends in both knees. Come back and forward. Step it back. Feel that buoyancy, a little bit of power through the front heel as you come to stand. So each of these movements in our warm-up, we're going to be tackling with the weight as the workout begins. Reverse lunge for 10 more seconds, and then we're switching to our hip hinge. Step it back for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet together. It's a hip hinge. So slight bend in the knees. We reach forward. Come back up. Feel like the weight is moving into the front of your foot, but you keep that heel anchored. So we want the hips to be directly over the ankles, and we're hinging at the hips. So the upper body, crown to tail, moves as a unit. Forward and back up. Reach forward and back up. We've got 5 more seconds here, and then we're coming into our lateral lunge with a few variations. Let's step it out wide. Toes are turned slightly out. We squat side to side. So this is the lateral lunge option. It'll be the same option when we grab the weights. If you're feeling like you want a deeper challenge or you're working on mobility, you can go with or without weight and come into a Cossack squat all the way down. The toes in the straight leg lift. We squat side to side. We're here 5 more seconds, and then we're picking up the weights. 3, 2, 1. Come up. We're going to set ourselves up. We've got about 50 seconds to transition here, and then we're moving right into the weights. These are quick workouts, so we're making the most of our time. Set one of your dumbbells up so that you can elevate your heels. Have the other dumbbell handy. You're going to lift your heels onto the edges of the dumbbell. You can also do this on the bottom stair in a staircase. What we want is to focus the weight in the ball mounds of the feet. That'll help us target the quads. And then we're going to be holding the weight in the goblet position and squatting down and up. So in about 20 seconds, we are moving into the goblet squat. We're using progressive intervals here. So we start with a 40-second interval with 20 seconds of rest, and then we move 50 and 60-second intervals. So we're using that cumulative effect. Let's begin now. Here we go. 40-second interval. Squat it down, lift it up, keep the chest elevated. You're sitting back into a chair, bringing the knees toward the elbows, and then engaging the quads at the top. So really pressing through the ball mounds of the feet. Imagine if you can spread all 10 toes nice and wide so you have that firm connection to the ground. This one is quad focused. So we're taking a little bit of the weight out of the heels, which takes it from the glutes and puts the work into the quads. We've got 10 more seconds in this first interval. 5, breathe. So we inhale down, exhale on the exertion, and rest. 20 seconds, you can shake it out. It'll be quick. And then we're coming right back in, same exercise for 50 seconds. So we're building those intervals. We're using this efficient structure to get us through a high volume of work in just 20 minutes. Here we go. 2, 1, 50-second interval. Squat it down and press it up. The pace does not have to be fast. Even though our transitions are fast, our intervals are timed, you can take this nice and slow. We are in the menstrual phase, so you might still be kind of waiting for your energy levels to catch up. You might be in day 4 or 5, all the way to 7 in that first week of your cycle. So take it at the pace that feels right for you. It's a great opportunity to get in some work with weights, to get in a leg day, but it need not leave you feeling burnt out or too much. So go at your own pace. We've got about 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Rest, 2 intervals down. Coming into our longest one, so the 60-second interval next. Shake it out, get ready. And after this exercise, we're going straight into reverse lunge. So it's just like the warm-up. We move into our next movement after this round. Grab your weight, 3, 2, 1. 60 seconds on the clock. This one should feel challenging. It's our longest interval, but it's the end of this exercise. So keep the shoulders floating right over the hips. Imagine you were sliding down a wall so that you have that nice straight spine and you're keeping all the work in the legs. You're letting the quads go to work for you here. Exhaling on the exertion, finding that forceful exhale through pursed lips to help you engage the belly, to integrate the pelvic floor. We're here for 20 more seconds. You got this. Get ready to transition quickly. At the end of this interval, you'll grab both weights and we're moving into reverse lunges. Almost there. Stay strong, starting to feel those quads. 3, 2, and 1. Set the weight down. So grab both weights here and we're moving in just 15 seconds. So these are quick rest periods. Excuse me. We'll get ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weights are by your sides. Step it back and come forward. So this one, you can slow it down. You just effectively doubled the weight that you're moving. So take it slow. Not only did you double the weight, but we're now moving single-sided. So one leg at a time. That will kind of compound the challenge in this movement pattern. Keep your shoulders floating over the hips. Gaze out in front and use your breath. Step back to that 90-degree bend and come forward. We've got just 3 more seconds here. And breathe. And rest. Set your weights down, shake it out. If you're using heavy weights, you might find that the first thing to fatigue is the grip. So stretch out your hands, stretch out your forearms. Going for round 2, our 50-second interval in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start with the other side, if you can remember, just to help keep things even. Stepping back, lowering slowly. Let that back knee just hover off the mat and up. So we inhale back, exhale to press up. Really drive through that front heel to engage the glute. Let that be the prime mover. So you're not really pushing too much off the back foot, but instead driving through that front heel to lift the legs back together. Breathe. Let out that forceful exhale. Give it some sound. We're almost there. 5 more seconds here. You got this. Stay with me. And rest. Shake it out. These intervals build, but they go quickly. We've got, in about 10 seconds, our longest interval. So 60 seconds on the clock. Last round of reverse lunges. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Step it back and together. So this is the last round of the reverse lunge. And then if you remember from our warm-up, we switch to a hip hinge next. So for us with weights, that will be a straight leg deadlift, a Romanian deadlift, where we're hinging at the hips and this time adding load. Stay with it here. I know those weights get heavy. And as we do these back-to-back rounds of the same exercise, we're really moving toward the intuitive edge. So that place where you feel your muscles start to get tired. We're providing the stimulus in this low hormone phase to signal the adaptations that we're looking for. Stronger muscles, more muscle tissue. 3, 2, and 1. Set those weights down mindfully, carefully. Shake out your grip. We're coming into the Romanian deadlift. So turn your weights so they're side by side. Feet are hips width distance. Outer edges of the feet are parallel. We start at the top of the movement and then we hinge at the hips. 2, 1. Let's get it. Come down to mid shin. Keep the spine nice and tall. Shoulders are relaxed. And here, make sure you're keeping the neck neutral. So the chin isn't moving forward or tucking back. You've got that neutral gaze, neutral curve in the neck. And here again, remember, shift the weight forward so that you're keeping your hips over your ankles. You don't want to put too much strain on the point where the hamstring attaches by letting the hips drift behind the heels. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. So these 2 exercises back to back are going to really work your grip strength. So if you need to, shake it out, take a little break, and then we're coming in for our 50-second interval in about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Grab it. Let's go. 50 seconds. Hinge at the hips and drive it up. So feel a little bit of power as you extend the hips. So we hinge, drive through the heels to extend the hips. Down, find that power up. Weight is even through both feet. And notice if you can really brace the low belly. So not just drawing the navel to spine, but really wrapping the transverse abdominis all the way around to support your low back as we come into that hinged position. Last 10 seconds here. Little grip break. These weights get heavy. And rest. Set those down, shake it out. We have just one more set of those before switching to our lateral lunges, and that one will be with just a single dumbbell. So know that that's coming. Shake out your wrists, shake out your legs, take a big shoulder roll to reset. Grab your weights. Let's get it. Now, here we go, 60 seconds. Breathe. Find that powerful hip extension at the top. And breathe. I know your grip is tired. Mine is too. We've got just about 40 seconds left in this interval. And then we get to set the weights down. One of the limitations in working with dumbbells, gotta take a grip break, is to go heavy requires some intense work for the grip. It's not like moving a barbell where you're not really having to hold the weight in your hands. But know that it is possible. You can train your grip over time. Here we go. Last 5 seconds on the clock. You got it. One more quality rep. And rest. So you can set one weight off to the side. We've got a quick transition here, and then we're going back into that goblet hold for your lateral lunges. Again, just like in the warm-up, you have the option for a lateral lunge or the full Cossack squat. So pick your movement and let's begin. So you're either here, alternating lateral lunges, nice and slow, nice and steady, or you're coming all the way down and pressing up. That will slow you down even further because you have more distance to travel. So find your movement pattern and know that you can change it up throughout. So maybe you experiment with the Cossack squat for a rep or two and then come back to that lateral lunge. Requires some serious hip mobility, ankle mobility here. 3, 2, 1, rest. That was our 40-second interval. Just 2 more left. Make sure that you are initiating each round with a different side, just to make sure that you stay steady and even. We'll go in 5 seconds. These 20-minute workouts, they're short, but they're intense. Here we go. Squat it down and come back up. Squat it down and lift. So really targeting the muscles on the inside of the leg here, the inner thighs, the groin, and also using the outer glutes to get you back up. Here we go. Might switch to the simple lateral lunge for a few rounds, feeling a little bit of that fatigue in the stuck point, coming all the way down. This is our last weighted exercise before we cool down. We've got just 5 more seconds on the clock. Stay with it. These intervals start to build and rest. Step it together, shake it out. We're coming in for our longest interval. This 1 minute stretch. It's going to feel tough. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out, shake it out. Get ready to move in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Squat it down, come back up. Take it down and back up. So the highest priority is your form, is the mechanics. So if you start to feel any hunching in the back, any rounding or pinching in the lower back, slow it down or even ditch the weight. Find what works for you and try to focus on just that next quality rep right in front of you. Sometimes if you're like me and you watch the clock, it can feel harder. But instead, just focus your attention on what you can create with the next quality rep. We're here for just 20 more seconds. And then we have a quick wall sit finisher before we come into our cool down. Take it to the side. We're here. 1 more rep. You got it. All the way down and all the way up. Set your weight off to the side. We're going to do this body weight for the wall sit finisher. Come to your wall. Sit into it. We're going in about 10 seconds. You want your hips level with the knees. We'll start the clock in 3, 2, and 1. We're here for just 1 minute. So start to create that intentional mind-muscle connection. Press your shoulders into the wall. Drive your heels into the floor. Gently curl the pubic bone up toward the navel and really root down through the feet. Start to hug the inner thighs together. You might start to feel that little bit of shake in the legs, and then gather your focus. So deep breaths in. Slow breaths out. So think of this as either the end to your workout, or you can think of it as the beginning of your cool down. So start to really slow the breath pattern. Start to get sort of that inner move. Attention on what you can create with the next quality rep. Knees. We'll start the clock in 3, 2, at the end of this super quick workout. So these 20-minute sessions are designed so that you can fit them even into the busiest schedule, so that you can get that movement medicine that might improve your day, improve your week. 2, 1, and we'll go right into our cool down. So we're coming into a deep squat. Hands come down and fold. Squat deep, knees out, heels in, and fold. Stretch the back of the legs, relax the head. So we use that wall sit to kind of bring us back to a more neutral place with the heart rate. But if you're still feeling pretty elevated, you might keep the head slightly lifted, level with the hips and heart. Last 2 and 1. We're coming into reverse lunges now with rotation. So we take it back, open to the front knee and back together. So down, open, and back together. So you're opening toward the front knee here, keeping the hips square and just twisting in the upper body. So getting that rotational component in the spine. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming into our alternating lateral lunge. So take it nice and deep and just crawl the hands from one side to the other. Coming all the way down if you like, kind of that Cossack squat, or just staying upright, really just targeting the inner thighs and the ankles, the calves here. Last 3, 2, and 1. We'll close it out now with a simple wide-legged fold. So again, if your heart rate is still elevated, you can keep head level with the heart and hips. Otherwise, you might start to fold a bit deeper, maybe relax the head and neck. Here, shift the weight into the ball mounds of your feet and really root down through the outer edges of both feet. Feel a bit of stretch along the IT band. Again, the inner thighs. You might reach your hands behind you and grip the floor to pull your body toward your legs. Slowly come up. Start to heel toe the feet together. Deep bend in the knees as you slowly rise up to stand. Let's enjoy a huge breath together. Big inhale, reach up. And exhale, sigh it out. That is your 20-minute leg workout for the menstrual phase. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to just quickly thank you for showing up, for sweating with me, and for letting your body be moved.